Well, how do you assess the competition you face this season to retain the Premier League title, and where do you see the biggest threat coming from?
From all the other opponents, probably. Yeah? So it starts with Leeds, goes on with Chelsea, Arsenal, and so on. That's how it always is. And the biggest challenges, there are plenty of challenges, and they are similar to all the other years. But there are some other ones as well. And so it's about we press a normal season in a shorter period, which will be a proper challenge, especially with the wonderful rule we set up with 18 and 3, pretty much, which is it's only about player welfare, by the way. Only to say it, it's nothing else. But I don't know why we have to discuss it on this at all. And not everybody says, yeah, of course, like the whole world is doing, by the way, at least whole Europe. But that's how it is. Yeah, so will just be difficult, but it's always difficult, so that's not new. We don't have to think in this moment about the whole season. We have to think about Leeds, and there's enough to think about, honestly, because it's a Premier League team but new in a Premier League with this, but really a Premier League team, quality-wise, and with a world-class manager and an incredible, intense idea of football, and we have to be ready for that. So that's what I'm thinking about, and not too much about the rest of the season.
Can I ask you, though, about things off the pitch, though, as well? Because we heard of you having talks with Gini Wijnaldum this week. What can you tell us about those talks, and how likely is he to sign a new contract? And I suppose just end any doubt over his Liverpool future?
It's interesting. I had, since Gini is here, I think I had 500-600 talks to him, pretty much. And so that's exactly the same, like always. So nothing else to say about that. Yes, of course, I speak to Gini. He came back from international duties, and then we have a talk. That's always like this, and that's all, really. Do you know what I can say about that?
I know you're asked a lot about transfers then as well, but this continued speculation linking you with Thiago Alcantara. What response can you give to that continued speculation now to maybe end it?
If I would invent now a word that could end speculations, I think I would be. I could become really rich, because that's I cannot end speculations as long as the transfer window is open. So that's all really what I can say about that. Did I mention that Thiago Alcantara is a really good player? Long ago.
I'll just feel it now.
Yeah, long ago. So yeah, it's nice that we are linked with him, but that's pretty much all. Really, it's because he's a good player. Liverpool's a big club, so that's nice. But apart from that, really nothing to say about it. And unfortunately, I cannot, or maybe good for you, I cannot end the speculations.
So it might happen then.
Welcome back, Vinny. We'll go to Mandy with PLP. Mandy, if you could unmute yourself, that would be great.
Hi there, Jurgen.
Hi.
Hi. Can you just tell me why you think that Leeds will fit into the Premier League so well? What is it about their style, the manager?
That's a completely different style to Sheffield United, for example, but it's in a similar way different to what all other teams play. So and that makes it so special, and that will help them, because it's not like the most expensive style that will open up and be a bit naive or something like that. They're not at all. They are well drilled, and the things they do is absolutely brilliant. So the way they defend is exceptional. It's man marking, and it's pretty much man marking +1. What sounds slightly strange, but it's true. So that's really good organized, but. Of course, they will face challenges as well, because the Premier League, some different animals are around than in the Championship for sure. But anyhow, that will they will do well in the Premier League 100%, and they know it probably. That it suits them probably even more the Premier League than the Championship did. So. Good news for Leeds. They are not in the Championship anymore, and so now they can show their full potential, and that's what they will do. But of course, we are not that bad as well, and so we try to push through our things as well. But it will be if you are not ready for intensity, we have a problem, 100%, because they will be ready. They always were ready, and unfortunately, we don't play them after they played 6 games in 7 days. So they are pretty fresh, had a good preseason, and now they will be completely charged. But we as well. So let's give it a go.
Not many managers have managed to retain the Premier League title, and there are obviously huge challenges with that. But has it been even more challenging because you've had less time to prepare, less time to think of perhaps new ideas or recover mentally, you and your players?
So I'm completely recovered from whatever, so on a professional basis, and my boys as well. So all together was obviously a challenge for all of us, and the break we had was not a break because it was very intense mentally and all these kind of things, and then we played a lot of games in a pretty short period, and then we had a short break and came back. So, but that's we are now pretty much in our normal rhythm for the moment, at least. That will change in the next few weeks, obviously, because then we play. It feels like more often than we have the opportunity to train, but that's okay because pretty much everybody has to do it. At least the teams who are in Europe as well, and the teams who have international players, for them, it's all the same. So it's being champion is the best. So winning the league last year is actually the best problem you can have, to be honest. Yes, it's if it's a problem, I don't know even, but everybody gives me the feeling that it should be a problem. So because anybody else wants, or everybody else wants to become champion as well, that's no news to me. So I knew that before, and so we just give it a try again, and we know we will face incredibly strong teams, and it's all about us how we can, how we can. Put all these intense performances on the pitch again and again and again. That's it pretty much, and that's a job we have to do. So it's absolutely it's important and important information in which league we play. It's the Premier League, and the Premier League is the strongest league in the world. So that means we have competitors more than we need, but we should be ready in all the different games, and that's what we try to make sure with the preseason. Nothing else.
Thank you, Mandy. Okay, just before Juliet starts, the next questions are Juliet, James from Merseyside, James from TalkSport, Carl from PA. I haven't got any of the hands up for the Open, so that'll be that after that. But, please let me know if not. And Juliet, over to you.
Jurgen, is that a new mug, by the way, just very quickly? I mean, the mug what you're drinking out of, the cup, the mug.
No, it's not new. I have that already since pretty early. The kitchen. It's a present from the kitchen. It's a normal one on it. Sorry. So usually we have the press conference downstairs, and I don't take tea there. But now we are on the same floor, and I got a tea before I came in. So that's why I have the mug.
The normal.
Off the record, Julia.
That wasn't my question. I just noticed it. That was all. You're going back to Gini. You say you have lots of talks with him, and you're not going to kind of tell us what's going on. But is it all good as far as you're concerned with him and Liverpool and his future?
The last part of your question I didn't understand. Is it all good?
Is it all good with Gini, Liverpool, and his future?
Great. But what about you? Yeah. Yes, he's absolutely fine about the future as far as we are involved in that. So I cannot speak about the future in a few years, but it's all fine. So it's all good for the moment. You know the situation. So between Gini, me, and the club, everything is completely fine. So apart from anything to announce to you, but that's more your problem than ours because we are completely fine in the situation.
Okay, I'll let someone else pick the baton and carry on.
Thank you, Julia. Okay, James Manford, BBC Merseyside.
Hello there, Jurgen. Just really off the back of that. Clearly, this season is different anyway because of COVID, but it was always the plan the transfer window would be open at the start of the season, and that's been different to previous seasons. How do you feel about that? Is it something that you prefer? Because it's not just yourself, it's also other teams have the opportunity to change their squads too.
So in a normal world, an ideal world, I would prefer that all transfer windows close the same day, and if they close before the season starts, I would say that's better, because everybody knows that, and we can start earlier. But this year is absolutely special for many reasons. I'm really happy that we decided we close it with pretty much with the other countries as well, because otherwise it wouldn't make sense at all. So it's how it is. We dealt with the situations in all the years as good as we could. Let me say it like this. I like that we now close it at 6th of October, I think, and then 10 days later, if I'm right, 8, 9, 10 days later, what is it? The domestic, or at least to the Championship and League One and League Two transfers are still possible. So that's completely fine. That makes completely sense. And usually before the season, I would prefer, but before the season and nobody else closed before the season, that makes no sense. That harmed ourselves, the whole league, the clubs. That was not cool.
You've mentioned about the intensity with the amount of games in the limited time this season. Do you think you'll need more members of your squad this season?
Look, it's all changed constantly. I thought from a common sense point of view that it will be 100% clear that, of course, in this year and only in this year and not forever, we will have 20 and 5. And it's not about having an advantage because we have better players and can bring 5 top players on the pitch and stuff like this. What I really don't like that we deal with this thing based on the wrong facts. It's not about having advantages. It's about players' welfare, and it's about having the highest quality in the games for all teams, by the way. So that's the thing. And I was really surprised that when I heard the league decided against it, which is really hard, because you look to the other countries. In Germany, Bayern has anyway the best team. And that doesn't mean, and they for sure is an advantage for them with 5 players, but they play the most games as well. So that means that equals. It's not about advantage. It's about player welfare. Who can start? Who can finish the game? And all these kind of things. So that changed, of course, now the situation again. It's 18 and 3. Back to that. So you have to rotate more. Yes, you need numbers. I don't know if you need more players. It's not about that, but you need fit players for sure, that you can rotate, that you can face all these different challenges. But that's a job we have to do, and we have to make the decisions to be as good prepared as possible.
Fantastic. Thank you, James. James from TalkSport. For a question.
Jurgen, you've said you want to attack the title this season rather than defend it. What's the importance of taking that particular mindset, do you feel?
First of all, it was my response on that somebody told me we have to defend the title. And I don't understand that. Maybe I'm not smart enough, but I didn't understand that. So if there's a title out there, we obviously showed that we were last year able to go for it. We did it the year before as well. That doesn't mean we will be this year, because it's just not, we don't take these things for granted. But the titles out there, we attack them, not only the one, but because that's how I understand it, because we all are in the same position. We all start from the same position, nil games, nil points, and now let's go for it. And that's how I understand it. And that's how I understood it always. And that's what we did last year. So why should we change it now? Just because we won it. We didn't go out of the Champions League last year because we won it the year before. We went out because we faced a really good opponent and were unlucky in the game and stuff like this. It was not about performance, was not about desire, was not about these things. It's about football, because it can happen, especially against these strong opponents. So we will go again with all we have. That's the idea. And the other one is only kind of the headline of the idea. But the idea is based on different things.
Fantastic. Dom from Perform, and then we'll finish the... in fact, sorry, I'm not going to Carl Markham. Absolutely scandalous. Carl Markham next, and then Dom.
Hi again. Just going back to the squad thing again, you said in the past about being able to find solutions from within rather than bringing in players. With that in mind, I'm just wondering what you think your plans are for Rhian Brewster, because there's been a lot of chatter around what will happen with him in the next month or so in terms of maybe going on loan or even leaving permanently. Can you clear up that for us, please?
No.
You can't clear it up.
Oh, but no, I can't clear it up. Because just nothing to say about it. That's how it is. So Rhian is our player. He's a wonderful kid and great, big talent, and scored very nice goals in the preseason, stuff like this. So, but the decisions about the squad and where is the perspective for who, they are just not finished yet in the moment, because we don't have to, and there's so much going on. And what I can say, we are really with him. So we are really thoughtful about him, what is best for his development and stuff like this, and how can we use him, what would help him, and all this stuff. That's not him only for him, that's for all our players, but it's with him as well. So there's really nothing to say as well. These kind of things, who is going on loan where, there's nothing decided. Otherwise they would be somewhere already. And as long as nothing is decided, if they go or if they stay, there's nothing to say in public, honestly.
Okay, thanks. Just one on Leeds, if I may. Bielsa is, many of the world's top coaches cite Bielsa as being an inspiration to them in their career. I'm just wondering what attention you've paid to his methods in his career, and whether that's influenced you in any way.
Oh, I admire him. But I was never close enough to him, and to really follow up. I watched his game. I watched his teams playing, so that's pretty exceptional. The rest I got from newspapers and stuff like this, and these kind of things. So I analyzed some games even in the past already, and had a look at that. We have a different approach. There's similarities. There are similarities, obviously, but there are big differences as well. So I like him without knowing him, as a proper character, obviously, and maybe the hardest working of all of us. I don't know. I think we all work pretty much, but I don't think we really can compete with him in that area. When I think about that, the analyze he presented around the derby game. Was it about a derby? Yeah. There were some information about the opponents, obviously. We have a lot of information. I'm not sure we have exactly the same amount. So that was funny as well. But
you've not sent anybody with binoculars to spy on people's training ground, then?
No. We didn't. We didn't see any kind of suspicious people this week around our training ground, so it's all fine. No, I'm really looking forward to meet him. But yes, he's an inspiration for all coaches, because what he's doing, he sticks to it, and he and really pushes it through, and is successful with it. So that makes him a very, very interesting figure in this business.
Thanks, Carl. Last two before we go to the embargo section. We'll go with Dom first, and then we'll finish with David Lynch. Dom, just one question, please.
Hi, Jurgen. Yeah, Mo Salah's on 49 Premier League goals at Anfield. If he scores the weekend, he'll be the second fastest to 50 home goals in the competition's history. Obviously, Mo's got a lot of these landmarks. He's stacked up. I just want you to talk about his impact over the last 3 years, and maybe if we're already at a stage where we're taking for granted how impressive he's been, because he does these things again and again.
So first of all, I'm really surprised there's another record he can break. I thought he broke already all of them. Yes, and you are 100% right. He's incredibly important, was incredibly important for our development. I think with the way we played, we could help him as well with things we did on and off the pitch. But we did it to all of them, and not everybody would use it in the same way as he used the opportunities. So that's absolutely incredible. And you are right. I think people are like this, not only us, pretty much the whole world. If things are exceptional, even we take them then for granted. And that's, of course, never. That didn't happen to me, to be honest, but I get that. And that's pretty special. So, but on the other side, it's for him the same. He didn't score goals just in a normal mood. He had to bring himself in a special mood, and this special mood we need. This aggression, this desire, and all these things. That's what made him the player he is. He became in the last few years, and long may it continue. That's what we need on Saturday. Not only from him, Sadio, Bobby, all these guys who's coming on, and all these kind of things. That will be really important. So let's see. It's nice to score 49 so far, but I'm a little bit more interested in the next 49, to be honest.
Thanks, Don. Final question, David Lynch. finish the open.
Jurgen, yeah, just one on team news really. Is Jordan Henderson likely to be ready for this one, and Shaqiri as well, and is Tsimikas available for this one?
Who was the last one?
Costas.
Costas. What did you say?
Tsimikas.
Okay. Okay, good. Yeah, that's his name. Not finally decided yet. They're all in training, pretty much all of them, and so we will make late decisions about that. But it looks rather promising than not. But we have, in a moment, a lot of players available. So here in training, they all came back now. So yes, not all of them will be involved, even if they could be involved. That's the situation.
Fantastic. Thanks, guys. If you stay where you are, just give one.